Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Radio Free Will. I guess this is now my personal channel. I don't have any fancy name for it yet. Probably won't, because it's just going to be me doing my thing. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for supporting us. We are back after entirely too long, playing Killing in the Name, our Exalted saga. And we have, you may notice a different face if you've only been following this particular stream and not any of the other, the stream we had last week of, helping her build her character, and all that. So before any further ado, I believe we should let our new player introduce herself. And you take it away, new face.
I hate going first.
Everyone else is gonna have you'll have your time at the end too. So it's we'll. But you're the
fine.
new face,
Hi,
so we have to.
The new face with the new car smell.
Roll out the red carpet for the new person. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Hey, everybody. My name is Vixie Bell. I'm your friendly neighborhood player here at Radio Free Will's table. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I can't wait to play with all of you guys. This will be my first time playing Exalted 3rd edition, so super excited.
And speaking of firsts, I would, before we dive into it, I would like to draw everyone's attention to the symbol on the overlay that is right next to Vixie's name, as opposed to the symbol that is near everyone else's. It's on the other side of the screen from you, Modern. Don't worry about it. All right. This will be my first time attempting to run Exalted for a sidereal. I have been led to believe that they are considerably easier to incorporate into mixed groups in 3rd edition. I know from the past, at least in 1st and 2nd, they were a little wonky, a little imbalanced, shall we say? But we're gonna see how this goes. We'll my voice, I seem to be coming in kind of low. Give me just a second, gang. I want to make sure I don't know. My sound is coming in a little quiet. Let me try to turn that up a bit. Check, check. Hello? Hello? Do I sound okay to you guys?
You sound great to me.
You sound good on this end, so.
All right.
I can hear you just fine.
Let me go ahead and I'll just pop on the.
Yeah, check the chat check the stream for me.
Did you see my message about the stream? We are a little off center by a bit.
Oh, are we?
It looks fine to me, but you are quiet.
Okay. Oh wait, what the heck is that? Where did that? Oh, I don't know how that moved around. That's fucking weird. All right, so I'm gonna.
No worries.
I'm gonna play with my gain just a little bit. If it gets too loud, that is.
You're much louder and nice now.
That's
crisp.
Okay. That's my gain all the way up. Okay, beautiful.
You're cutting. It hurts.
Clipping
actually,
a little bit?
I would
Okay,
say Yeah, you're clipping.
Let me bring it down just a little bit. How's that? Better?
Yes.
Yeah, you're better there.
Okay. How's that? Still good? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know why that's doing that. Anyway, all right. Anyway, so previously on Killing in the Name, our heroes interrupted a potential ritual that seemed to be summoning the lady of this haunted manse in which you all find yourselves in. Excuse me. And in so doing, threw the front doors wide open to let those big things in that were knocking. After dispatching them, a silver chain of sorts came hurtling through the empty void on the other side. And our resident nightcast, Sova, grabbed onto it and rode it seemingly out of this strange pocket dimension that you all find yourselves in. When they got out, everything was everything seemed to be going to hell in creation. But that will be a story for another time, as we come back to our players in within this manse, in the manse of Espada Azul. Yeah, the last thing you guys left off with was the exit. Was Sova's exit. What are you guys doing?
Beryl, can you still feel their presence?
Not on this plane, but in general, they're still kicking. So I think I did my job.
Is the knife that came down still there, or did it go back up?
No, it went back up.
Okay.
Maybe we should hang out here for a few minutes and see if we get another lift.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a booming approaching stomp or anything, right?
Well, you as you're standing there, sort of giving the potential time for something to come back, you do start to hear some rather unpleasant sounds coming from outside.
Ooh.
It is all manner of bestial yelling. Do you speak Old Realm?
Ooh. I speak a realm. Let me see which realm. I speak High Realm.
Okay. So you may recognize the language being spoken, but you don't understand it.
I believe I'm the only one in the party that does speak Old Realm.
Okay.
So
you've been
far.
translating for us, yeah.
I have been translating.
So you can hear some of this, some of the sounds that are coming out there do sound like sort of a very, like, dark, guttural kind of Old Realm. If you had to guess, demons. Lots of them.
I instinctively just grab my fire wand, and it's already in my hand. I don't even look down.
Jesus.
It's just right
Okay.
there, like... Can I use crafts, because we're on edge right now with Sova just disappearing, to try and determine if the chains that came through were made in any particular avenue that I'd be familiar with?
That is a fantastic question. Roll intelligence craft for me.
All right, here we go.
It's I will say, given the fact that you're working off memory.
Yep.
So you did not get a really great look at it. It's not going to be super easy, but.
All right. So Cobalt will remember the knife sticking into the floor, the chains, the hammered patterns that were in the links. Were they welded together? Were they smelted entirely? Taking in what they can pull up from the air as it crashed down into the floor beneath them. Wondering if this is, in fact, a creation from Malpheus itself, or had the air that little bit of salt that speaks that it's from beyond these veiled walls that we are in part of maybe this is something from perhaps creation, or a fabrication entirely from the plane of the demons itself, sent here to try and extract all of us.
Okay, go ahead. Take 2 stunt dice on that roll.
All right.
Excuse me.
All right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 successes. Okay. Yeah. You actually there was something familiar about it. In particular, the blade itself had a sort of like, there was a ripply pattern to it that at first glance looked like it might have been like a Damascus kind of thing, but upon further, like when you think about it and the way it moved, it actually sort of like the pattern moved. The pattern, like it was slightly animate, so that leads you to believe that the blade was actually made of moon silver. The chains, and I do say chains plural. There was actually 3 of them, and they were almost spun, almost braided together. This is a kind of chain work that is, it's common in the north, particularly around Iceholm. They use the airships that Iceholm is known for. Use those chains to basically to moor themselves to the sky docks. And yes, Iceholm has airships. They're like very, very like war blimps kind of thing. It's that we're not talking, we're not talking, jet fighters or anything like that. That was first stage. It's mostly, trade caravan kind of stuff. But, yeah. So like I said, common to Iceholm with a moon silver blade.
Beryl, I believe some of our friends in creation have extracted Sova. Maybe a Hallison airship.
That's better than I thought. Okay. Good.
But they might be waging a war outside.
I mean,
That's
Sova
less good.
thrives in war, but not at the front lines, kind of behind lines.
There are very few demons I know that can fly into the air at least that high. And if they're coming in with armaments that well, and they're just going to think back to that flash that they had of those memories of on the ship on the way here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we may have more allies in this fight than we are aware of, though this place is clouded. Our minds, but not our skills. There is hope.
There's also alcohol, so we can keep our spirits up or we can keep our spirits down.
That was a pun. I appreciate that.
I did steal the bottle of booze earlier.
Yep. You are
right.
walking around with a bottle of Malfian rum. That is
How beat up is everyone?
said the one who was
Weirdly-
recently poisoned by a demon spider.
Yeah.
I still have 1 hit point. I'm still going strong. All you need is 1, motherfuckers. I will take down all of her name.
I'm fine. I haven't taken damage yet.
Yeah, I'm doing Gucci.
At least not to my knowledge. I may
Alright,
have not
I'm-
saved the...
I don't mean to speak for our warband leader. Forgive me, Radiant.
Mhm.
But I think with everything going on, we need to find a room, establish it as a base of operations, and plan our next moves carefully. I would suggest the library as a place of respite and also the greatest cachet of weapons in all of creation because knowledge is power.
She looks kind of she looks kind of distracted when you say that, because this whole time she's been thinking, where's the rest of my crew? Where's, because if she's thinking like, if Cobalt was on the boat with her and she saw some of her crewmates, and is the one that was with her still with her?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
she's been hanging. Okay.
Oma was
If
her name, right?
Huh?
Oma was her name?
Maybe. I don't know
Okay.
what we decided.
It is now.
It is now, almost. If Alma's here and she's the only one who's alive, like, so she's doing the math in her head of like, where is everyone else? And that's distracting her. And then she hears I forgot to do it last session, but she takes a point of she would have taken some limit because of her 5 or so of her crew dying, and she's still like not processed that.
Okay. Hold on.
Oh no, Will's picking up dice.
Hold
Oh
on
no.
just a sec. Yep, that means that.
She's letting Cobalt almost not take the lead, but she's just like trying to flash back into reality. She's almost glad Silva's gone, because that's one less person she has to look after in her brain.
You're gonna take 2 points of limit.
Yeah. And when you see her finally flash back into like reality, she says, she straightens up a little bit, and she's like, defense, armorable, yeah, yes, there's, and then she's doing like math in her head. There's still an escape through the library, although the house does change shape, but if we can have more information as we bunker down, that is a good thing. Also, we can maybe find some medicine for you while we are in there, which is good. So yes, library seems like a good idea. While we are here, while we
So,
wait.
Cobalt, you said that there were weapons in the library. Do you mean that one of the bookshelves opens up and there's like a repository hiding anything useful, or?
No, my friend. There's knowledge in that library. Best weapons in the entire of all of creation.
Yeah, I don't read Old Realms, so
I'll be your translator, your guide, your temporary mate, if you will, though I would never impose that honorific on anyone but Sova.
do you want me to watch the door?
We can all go in.
No, well, I mean, yes, I would love that, but there are certain
I mean, I could do it
sigils.
from inside. Yeah.
There are things we can all look for, search for, okay? What many hands make light work, my friend. And
I also presume that it won't all be written in Old Realm. Like, this was a very educated person, and she probably had books from many different languages.
absolutely.
Even so, Pero, like, you would know, I would know a history textbook in any language, because that is my skills. Even if I didn't know how to read it, I would know this is history. So I could say this is useful, hand it over, and hand it over to Cobalt, because I know what I am looking for. I'm looking for this. You, with your skills of politics, you know politics textbook, no matter what language. So you know what you're looking for, no matter what language it is in.
I think you're vastly overestimating how much I've read in my life, but I'm enthusiastic to try.
It's a good thing.
Oh, come on. You've seen now those political cartoons that come out from the papers in Nexus depicting the Scarlet Empress as a redacted. They were quite funny.
And let's be fair, that newspaper came out of look shy.
Damn!
So you guys are gonna head back to the library to try to set up a
Base camp.
do some research, get some info. All right. You guys head back to the door that led to the library and open it. And there is no library there.
Damn it.
There is a... You open the door onto a landing with a stairwell going up.
That wasn't there before. Have I mentioned I hate this house? I super do.
Gun's still out. I'm going up the stairwell.
Okay.
I'm armed with the squigglies.
I fucking hate this place so much.
So you head up the stairs. You go up two flights, and it leads you to another door. There are windows along the side here too, and when you look out the windows, Radiant, where were you from again?
I was from the southeast, and it was near that. I don't remember the name. I apologize, but it's that, you know, those islands that are held up by those statues.
Palanquin.
Yes, I'm from near there.
Okay. You looking out the windows, you immediately recognize that, like, you are several hundred feet above the Dreaming Sea. You immediately recognize the opalescent, sort of like multicolored currents sort of flowing through it.
Can I do a bullshit check? Roll for bullshit? Because this place has already tricked us so many times.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll Perception Integrity.
Perception is a 3. I don't know how I stunt this. Oh, can I stunt it in a funny way?
Absolutely.
What she does, she's so done. And so she, through a window, right?
Yes.
She's so done. So she looks out the window, and what it is she sees it out of the corner of her eyes first, and she does like a double take. And then she just starts swearing in river speak, but in the most like, and I'm saying it in Tagalog, but it would sound like this of like so smart and just like so loud, just like because she has a feeling it's like if I have to be tricked one more time, I'm going to lose my damn mind. So she just stomps like full, just like now it's the general. Now it's General Radiant. Now she's officially angry TM, trademark anger, and she's just like now she's staring full like captain of a boat, like out the window again, and she's doing all the checks that she did before when she looked out the window before with the when she was analyzing the BS scene last time.
Yeah.
And she's doing like look at everything, see if they're skipping, but just like she's definitely starting to glow a little. Because now it's just anger. Like her forehead's starting to go, not fully,
right,
but she's definitely glowing a bit because she's so mad.
So what makes this scene? Go ahead. So yeah, go ahead and roll perception and integrity with 2 stunt dice on the roll for your for the outburst. In fact, and on it, you know what? I will actually make that a 2-point stunt. So 2 dice and an automatic success for
Thank you.
for the extra for the inclusion of Tagalog as River Speak stand-in.
Yay! Called creative story building. Anyway,
I honestly that like I love doing that, like in like substituting real world languages for other ones. My one of my favorite instances, one of my favorite D&D characters I ever played actually was a tiefling, and I had her coded as Irish. So I looked up like the Irish language, like Celtic, and like had her like whenever she would swear in Infernal, I said it in Celtic. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, what'd you get?
Yeah. I got 2 successes, but you gave me 1 free success, right?
Yep, you get an automatic success for the stunt. So
I got 3
3?
successes.
Yeah, no, it's bullshit. Like you this is very clearly they're trying they're okay with 3 successes. You actually get a little bit of insight into like what's going on here, because they are, whoever's in charge of this is trying to lull you into a sense of security, trying to lull you into a sense of calm and like, nope, we're safe here kind of thing. The fact that you've been shown at the very least 2 different locations to present that is it's yeah, no, they are doing this specifically to mess with you. So
Unfortunately, they also picked paranoid people to try to lull into security.
So what makes this scene even weirder, and even actually kind of helps to break your sense of like, you know, suspension of disbelief of where you are, is that when you get to the top of this stairwell, the door that is presented with you is a sliding rice paper door. As is very,
She's so mad. She's so mad.
Very common in the realm.
Okay.
You gonna go through?
Yeah.
Okay. You slide the door open and are presented with the image of a tea house. Very similar to the kind, as I said, you would find in the realm.
And where I'm from, or just anywhere in the realm?
Oh, like no, I mean when I say on the realm, I mean like on the Blessed Isle. So like.
Oh, okay.
Like from the realm, capital R realm.
Capital R realm.
Yes. It's a little odd because you definitely hear the din of conversation happening that would be typically heard here, but there's no one around. Well, not no one. Sitting at one of the tables, sort of slumped over, seemingly unconscious, there is a person. Vixie, would you like to give a physical description of your character for us?
Oh no, this is what I get for suddenly not paying attention. Did you say I was sitting at the table?
You're sort of slumped over, unconscious.
Okay, currently unconscious. I was like, am I conscious? What's going on here? Okay. Sitting slumped over the table, unconscious, is a woman with very long, effeminate, like, clearly this is a feminine form. She has long black hair that is splayed out across the table. It is straight. She's wearing a cape, an over-the-shoulder cape. It sort of drapes over the shoulder and is sporting a deep gray fur along the part that is going over the shoulder, and underneath that cape is armor. It's not quite black, but it is a steel that is a deeper color than you would see, and you can tell that this armor has seen battle. I think there's a running joke that a knight in shining armor isn't actually a knight because they haven't seen battle. There's no dents in their armor. This person has definitely seen battle. That armor has the marks of someone who has fought. And some are fairly recent. But yeah, that is pretty much what you see from this angle anyway. Because currently she's face planted into a table.
Yep.
So
So I think knowing that you're like slumped and likely unconscious, Beryl's going to take this opportunity to go, hey, how subtle are we able to, get back to real quick if we had to? Effectively, like how much peripheral essence has been spent by everybody at the moment? Can we fake mortal?
I think you guys are more or less okay at this point. Like,
Okay.
none of you were particularly shiny during the last fight. I don't think.
I was iconic.
You were iconic. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
I mean,
Then
explain it to me.
Yeah, iconic
No,
is.
I'm not trying to ruin it for everyone. I was though. 'cause
You would have. I
Yeah.
mean, you've at this point you've probably died down to glowing, but you're still not off.
When you use essence that's not part of your core body, but you pull it from the air around you, at a certain threshold of like drawing in effectively like mana from the aether, your cast mark glows, and iconic is basically I am a spotlight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Come find me.
okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So at that point, Cobalt, they were visible from a mile at night, easily.
It is.
And
so-
that's like why the wild hunt happens, is because Dragonblooded are like, oh, anathema, go get it.
Oh, this is gonna be great. We're gonna have a great time.
So yeah.
Sidereal anima banners. That's what it is. It's an anima banner. Sidereal anima banners are considerably more subtle than solars. Solars are like, look at fucking me.
Solars are the Leo of us. I get it.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
It's,
Yeah.
They are. It's a Goku Super Saiyan kind of thing.
Lunars are visible, but they're not like, look at me, I'm over here. I'm also here.
The two solars in the room are kind of.
Shiny. There's a whole song about it.
My
in
name
Onyx
is
Path.
Radiant Star. It's a whole thing.
It's like a theme or something.
It's
I feel
a
like it's a
whole
vibe.
thing.
It's giving glowing. That's what I'm hearing.
So the reason I asked is because, like, I could go back to a human form. It wouldn't feel super comfortable, but if we're not being subtle at the moment, then I think I'm good to stay.
He's still bright red. So.
Fair enough.
Octopus,
What do you
bright red person.
Do you guys want to hang out a little bit and wait to die down, or do you want to? Because we'll just fast forward if that's what you're gonna do. You can, if you want to wait to do that.
I mean, I
Since
wouldn't
they're
mind
passed
recharging
out-
pools, but yeah.
Since they're passed out, Cobalt will holster their weapons as against an unarmed, incapacitated individual. That's not the righteous devil way.
Okay.
That's
And
what the kids
I'll
call
calm,
nacho.
go through my breathing katas, just like, take a little bit of a respite.
Sure. Okay. I will say, given that it's, we're not in combat right now, anything like that, there's no other really risk of it. You just let your aura sort of like eventually sort of suppresses into a manageable state, and then are you going to try to wake her up?
I'm gonna man flesh back, which
Sure.
ugh.
Don't
Sounds
say
so horrible.
that. That was the worst thing. Actually, man.
Nope, I'm gonna man flesh back. That's the new code of the game.
Inverted animorph.
I can't unhear it now.
It's stuck in my ears forever. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Hey,
I'm gonna be stuck
If-
calling it that for the rest of my career as an Exalted player. Okay, that is.
Thanks, Bardic.
God.
Love
You
you.
That
animorph
is-
and then you man
No,
flesh
that-
back.
That's one
No,
of those. Okay,
no, stop.
that's one
Yeah.
of those expressions that's like, okay, many years ago, I dated someone who referred to meeting in person as not calling it in real life as opposed to online. Instead of calling it in real life, she referred to it as being in meat space.
Yeah, yes.
To this
Other
day,
people do say that, not
no,
just your weird
That's
ex.
from Cyberpunk Red. So actually,
So like, but
Or
since
something.
then and that was one of those words. Like, I love it. It's burned into my brain. Man flesh similarly burned into my brain. That is. So yeah, no, it is. Yep.
So anyway,
I lose all my cool powers.
So
good. You deserve it for
Drunk.
saying that.
Beverly.
Handsome
Darn.
Squidward,
Jesus.
you're just
Oh my
axe
God.
turning into human space right now, okay?
so glad I'm unconscious right now.
Fair.
I wish I was unconscious in real life.
Great sense.
Sorry.
Anyway, so Kyrie,
Hello.
a momentary flashback though. We're going to do a momentary flashback just to sort of get you up to speed as to exactly how you are going to perceive this happening. A few hours ago, everything made sense. All of a sudden. All of these weird coincidences of the past couple of months just all coalesced and like, I get it now. Oh, like this is what this is. I understand. And as soon as you did that, you turned around and were presented with face to face with a woman standing head and shoulders taller than you, wearing a violet gown and similarly violet hair. And she was looking at you with there was a look of regret, remorse on her face. And she said to you, I am so sorry for what you have to do, child. And put a hand on your shoulder comfortingly. And that's the last thing you remember.
Like you do. You
Yeah.
know. Okay.
So, who's waking up Kyrie?
I'm the more social creature, so at the very least I can try and talk her down if she's,
Sure.
Yeah. So rather than actually making physical contact, I will just like bonk a chair nearby and tap it a couple times on the ground loudly just to, hey, you all right over there?
There isn't an immediate response. There is like a slight twitch of the hand. Like they're aware, like when you're aware of a noise, but you're not sure if the noise is inside in the dream or in real life. That's
Oh,
kind
God.
of the vibe.
I have an idea. And then like practicing like a casual drum beat on the table, just full force with the ridiculous meaty arms of the the himbo.
Badly.
Essentially like playing the intro to Wipeout. Just
It's it's the
Okay.
ADHD stim. When you're it's like,
Okay.
yeah, it's
And- The desired effect is achieved. It takes like the twitching continues as like they slowly their brain slowly like pieces together that this is not actually in their head, like in whatever dream world they're in. This is actually like happening outside of them somehow. And when they lift their head, when she lifts her head and sees you, she like sort of like pushes herself away from the table and stands up and looks around. Like hands up, like where am I? What's going on here? I don't understand what's happening. She
that's
hasn't
fair.
said
We
anything
had
yet,
that.
but that's like the whole physical vibe.
just-
So
You're safe. You're safe. At least as reasonably safe as you can be technically inside of the body of a... Don't worry about that part. How much do you know about
what
demonology?
What language are you speaking, Beryl?
Oh, River Speak. I'm doing the
Okay.
trader mercantile language,
Sure.
being super casual
Yeah.
about it. Yep. And just like, how much do you know about demonology and Yosi and, bad times?
Also, let's use this opportunity to let our other players give a physical description of themselves for our new player.
Beryl is named like the shape, just very broad. Imagine like pre-workout routine Uncle Iroh, very large beard, no hair whatsoever on the head. Brown eyes, very just jovial, lots of smile lines everywhere, and looks to be approximately in his late 30s, early 40s. A lot of like gray and silver in the beard, and just very broad boy.
Broad boy.
Yes. Fancy buff jacket with black and white designs. Looks to be affiliated-ish with a house, or at least almost disguised to look affiliated with a house so that he can blend in.
Is there a specific house you're affiliated with, or that would give off?
It's you could be confused with it looking like what was the dynasty that I stole the face of?
That's a statement right there.
Yeah, almost a House Catholic. Or no, almost a House Ragara or Ragara appearance.
Okay.
Yeah, the banking house.
Okay.
House Catholic and I have had beef, but that's because I write smutty fan fiction about them.
Okay.
We haven't gotten to that part of the story yet.
We have not.
Is that the manuscript in your...
That's gonna go right next to Manflesh on the things that I would prefer not to hear.
So,
My character is a novelist in this world as a hobby, and it's not good novels, and they're not.
What is
for
Exalted
kids.
3E's version of AoE 3?
He's Exalted 3E's Chuck Tingle.
I was
Okay,
gonna say, Beryl is E3's Chuck Tingle.
Yeah.
Just flat out.
Cobalt, Radiant, want to give a description of yourselves?
so I'm not over what Beryl said, so why don't you go, hon? I
All right,
Still
all right.
traumatized by Manflesh.
fucking can't. Anyway.
It's you can feel the words even though they don't have a feel to them, but it has a tactile sense.
Oh, no,
also-
there's a feeling, and the feeling is bad.
Vixie, Traumatized by Manflesh is the name of my it's the name of an album by a cover band that I can't think of finish the joke here for. But anyway,
Wow.
My new ska band.
that's the new street punk band, Traumatized by Manflesh. That is,
Will said he'll drop their Spotify in the chat. Just be on the lookout. He's gonna promote them. The new sponsor.
Oh my god.
hello, we are traumatized by Manflesh.
So Radiant, do you want to go or should I? I'm
You
good.
go.
They're
You
still
go.
traumatized by
Alright.
Manflesh.
So Cobalt is a like 5'2", 5'3" foot individual, has slightly tanner skin. Normally reserved for those of near the southern pole of fire, gem, those kind of areas. Wears a modified buff jacket that's been turned into a duster. Almost every part of the outside edges of it are singed, blackened, and burned. There's a deep smell of sulfur and honey coming off of them. They have a wide brimmed hat, similarly burned away at all of the edges, and on their hip in a beautifully holstered, holster. Wow, that's a weird repeating word that, they really need to think of a better word for that. A blue jade and orichalcum fire wand. They have long silvery hair that is a bit unkempt, though they themselves are clean shaven, with very striking silver eyes.
And then the last person in the room, well, besides the person next to her, I guess, is a woman who is short but like built looking, golden brown skin, deep black hair, a few like faded scars across her arms and a small one like on between her nose and lip, and she has like red and gold vestments that are the gold is she has it's like an altered uh, brocade buff jacket that goes into a chest plate situation. Um, and her jewelry makes up the rest of her armor. And then she carries a red, fiery red bow that is red jade, with a quiver of arrows that are feathered with the hawk's feathers. Not hawk, excuse me, golden eagle feathers. And she just carries she looks like she's carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. Her eyes are always darting around.
So Kyrie looks at her gaze falls on two people. Each of you first. She looks at each of you, but her gaze falls on Radiant, because Radiant, she carries herself the same way that you do, in the sense of like she is a soldier. She is clearly someone who has seen battle, who is aware of martial things. And then to Beryl, because Beryl is wearing the clothing of a house. And upon taking in the situation, she has, you can actually see her face now. She's not face planted at a table. She has dark eyes that they're almost beyond a dark brown. They're almost like a black color. But they're very intense. It's a very intense gaze, and brows that are as dark as her hair, but also very intense on her face. As soon as she looks from Radiant to Beryl, she immediately salutes towards Beryl, and in accented river speak says, "House Celci, Karina, at your service." And she, you said you were with which house?
I appear
You
to be House
appear to be, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I ate his face. It's fine.
At your service, House Regara. And she immediately drops her head. Like, it's very military. All of the movements are very sharp, very practiced, that she has done this before. So.
Just a nod and a, hey, Cobalt, there is no House of Celci, right? Wink, wink.
We've been over this before.
Our house is broken. This is what's left. We are but ashes from a once powerful fire. Sir.
I'm just saying, you're the House of Assassins. You don't need to identify yourself. You're fine.
Not our branch, sir.
Oh. Got it.
We're allowed to keep our name because we are beholden to you, sir.
Hey, Beryl, give me intelligence lore.
And I'm gonna be super uncomfortable about this whole sir thing. Oh god.
Sorry.
Intelligence lore. So I think that might be a dice pool of a whopping 4. Not bright, not well read. I can punch, and I can drink some wine. Holy. All right, that's 3 9s. So that's 3 successes.
So 3 successes. You've heard of a branch of House of Celci. Vixie, tell Beryl what would be sort of the common perception of your particular branch.
The Kyrie's branch of House of Celci is a border house. They hold no actual power, but are what would be considered a bannerman of the Dragonborn. responsible for basically protecting the borders, handling dirty work in terms of war or in terms of invasion. They keep the enemies at bay and go out and take care of it so that the Dragonborn don't lose. Basically, they don't waste their people and resources on that. We do. Or Celsi does.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And like the experience Beryl would have had is remembering stories of the Exalted uprising and the assassination attempt that failed. So like, yeah, them being a waterhouse and him being a Western, sailor, privateer, and occasional fisherman, local familiarity at best only. So yeah, I didn't realize that there were non-assassin Exaltes. That's I should reflect on that later. But yeah, you're safe here. Yeah, I think. Well, you're as safe as we are, which is to say, not
very safe.
Yeah, if we're at least working together, that's better.
Where are we? I do not know this place.
That's a great question, Cobalt. Who are we inside again?
I would love to answer that, but first, a proper introduction all around, I think, might be in order.
I skipped
Unless
that
I'm
part.
remiss. And very subtly, they're going to just reach down to their holster and just click the hammer of their fire wand. Still holstered.
Right.
Kyrie just puts her hands behind her back, like in that military style. She's already introduced herself, so.
Yeah, so sorry. Beryl Rising Tide. I travel. I fish. I swim. All right. That's about it.
Blah, blah, blah. That was not diegetic. General Radiant Star, she says, and she does the little nod that like militant people would between each other.
You get a nod back.
Cobalt Fallen Star of Gem. And are you with or have any affiliation with the Immaculate Order?
The player is not 100% sure what the Immaculate Order is.
The Immaculate Order is the Immaculate Philosophy is basically the state religion of the Blessed Isle and the realm at large. The Immaculate Order being the body of it.
These are the people that chase after anathemas and make them go bye-bye?
Pretty much.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
They certainly try.
Okay, all right. She takes a moment and says, "We abide by the rulings of the Immaculate Order, but I cannot say that we are affiliated with them in so much as we do business with them or anything of that matter. We answer to the houses and the houses alone. That is to whom our debt is to be repaid."
All right, I think we can rest a little easy then.
You already have a general, sir. Why do you need another one?
That's not we're not. We accidentally met each other. We're not from the same.
You are not under his employ?
We all woke up here.
Where are your soldiers, sir? Did you not have a contingent?
She's laughing at the idea of being, because she's a princess on her own island. So she's laughing at so she's like a warrior princess. She's laughing at the idea of being under someone's employed.
Oh God, this poor girl has no idea. She's operating off what she knows. So,
and I look like the financier, so of course they'd be the one in charge. Oh God.
Yeah.
You look like the people she answers to. So yeah.
Yeah. Beryl will just look at this and go, "I won this in a card game."
I am going to...
She blinks twice. So you stole it?
No, I won it.
Fair
Very
and
good at
square.
cards. Yes.
I'm going to pull my fire wand.
Right. That's how I die,
Get
everyone.
your gun.
I'm pulling my fire wand and pointing it at Vixie. I will spend the 3 motes and illuminate my cast mark in front of them.
Excuse me.
You said you follow their... Hang on, There we go. Okay. We can't do it for Twitch reasons, but it's there. It's there, all right?
I can imagine.
Okay.
I got okay.
You said you answer to their laws and their followings. You right now are, as far as we can tell, in the body of a fallen, of one of the old gods. She who shall not be named. And you, like all of us, are sacrifices to the fodder or something worse, as far as we can tell. So if the will of the realm is to destroy anathema, you need to think very carefully if you want allies and to get out of here alive, or if you want to fulfill propaganda that has caused us to scatter to the winds for hundreds, if not thousands of years. I want no quarrel with you, and my fire dust will only pierce those who truly deserve it. I do not want an enemy here when so few are sought out in these darkest of realms.
She meets you with like the gaze of someone who has faced down death before and is unfazed by it, and says, I did not mean to cause a misunderstanding. I do not destroy say the word anathema.
Yeah.
But I answer to the houses. It is their business. There we protect the borders. We do not listen to the holy order when it comes to such laws. That is for them to police. It has nothing to do with me or my house.
The hammer clicks back, they spin their fire wand down, easily sliding into their holster, and they very slowly extend a hand towards them. Well, as I said, Cobalt, at your service. If any demon stands in your way, I'm happy to send it whence it came, unless, of course, it's here, and then we put it away for good.
She looks down at your hand, and then she's not used to someone like extending their hand while she's in formation. And she takes her formation and very gingerly reaches out to take it. Not because she doesn't want to, literally it's just not this is new. This is a new thing for her. So and she shakes your hand. She has a very firm grip and her palms are very calloused. Years of
There's our weather beaten, not particularly firm. They have a very gentle grip, surprisingly, but one that's seen a lot of sun and heat.
They could almost recite the sand speech from Star Wars if need be.
Oh, I thought we were thinking Dune. I was like, are we gonna summon some worms to start?
Yeah.
Shy, who good? Anyway.
Cobalt, I put away my squiggly bits for this. I
Don't say squiggly. Don't say that.
That's,
Beryl,
See, this is why.
I hereby officially promote Bardic Geek to the role of cursed linguist.
Radiant Star leans over to Uma and says, "This is why we're an island of all women. Can't be dealing with squiggly bits. Can't do it. I'm not strong enough."
Radiant, you're well aware of the fact that, like, when I look like this, let me explain. It feels like holding in a sneeze perpetually.
No,
it is
it's just the
uncomfortable.
way you talk. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
I can bench press 300, but I'm not strong enough to deal with that.
I am a riot at the courts.
I
I've also caused riots at the courts.
I did mean no offense. I was just doing due diligence as anyone would. We've already encountered one immaculate order here, and I don't want to repeat.
Yeah, we almost died.
Many of
Likewise.
your kind have died already here for sacrifices.
Sacrifices.
In the
Yeah,
basement,
we're in a
yes.
murder house.
I was not sacrificed. There was no ceremony, there was no temple, there was none of this.
No, I said many of your kind.
Are you talking about is my house? Members of would be members of my house?
Yes, of the various elements.
I understand.
Actually, that's a good question. Are you dragon-blooded?
She's not.
Okay. Wait, are you at all exalted? And you probably don't know, or?
What
Based
does
on
that
what-
mean? Exalted.
Ooh.
No,
Here, it
No,
means
no,
you
no.
have a better chance of...
Oh, no, wait.
That-
Sorry. Yes.
As a character, you would know what the phrase exalted means.
No, okay, I know what the phrasing means. I just-
Especially as having grown up on the Isle. Having grown up on the Isle, there is a you would have probably grown up around a very specific definition of the term exalted as referring only to the dragon-blooded. Anyone that exalts as anything else, according to the Immaculate Order, according to the Immaculate Philosophy, they don't consider that an exaltation. They consider that a possession. Like a demon has possessed your friend, your loved one, and they are now no longer them.
Okay, so then I guess I would retcon that and just
So-
and she says, like
However-
the dragon blooded.
However, I
go that route?
I will say one thing that it does specifically say about sidereal exaltations is that those, like the coincidences that sort of build up to your moment of exaltation culminates in a moment of understanding. Like you know what has happened to you. You have exalted. Like this is an exaltation.
So I'm not clueless,
Right.
is what we're saying.
Yeah, you're not clueless as to this. Because the existence of the sidereal exalted is because of the whole people forget them thing. Their existence is kind of a topic of debate. Because like there are records of them having existed, but no one's ever met one and remembered them.
Okay.
So
for the viewers and also for Cerci's, what is a sidereal?
a sidereal. Okay, so a sidereal is one of the celestial exalted, one of the original exaltations created by Autothon during at the Divine Revolution in order to overthrow the primordials. However, whereas the solars were given to the unconquered sun to promote his ideals of greatness, excellence, and heroism, and the lunar exalted were given to Luna to put forth their ideals of tenacity and adaptability. The sidereal exaltations were given to the five maidens, who consulted with the loom of fate and basically figured out who was destined to gain these exaltations. And while lunars and solars tended to be more of a frontline force, the sidereals were kind of the power behind the throne. They acted as envoys to heaven, and usually have a degree of responsibilities up there, typically. Although you guys are in the middle of a demon right now, so any sort of heavenly responsibilities are on hold for the moment. Because you can't get to heaven to answer any phones.
System processing.
Pretty much.
I have no bars here.
Yeah. They are when I was learning Exalted as a system, and I asked my storyteller what sidereals were, the way she described it was bureaucratic time ninjas.
All right, I can fuck with that.
They from a gameplay standpoint, each of them, instead of having casts like solars and lunars do, they all answer to an individual one of the maidens. The symbol over here on the overlay, which is depicting everyone else's cast, tells us, at least out of character, that Kyrie is chosen of endings. She is one of Saturn's chosen.
Sagittarius rep.
Or Capricorn.
Or Capricorn. Yeah.
Rising, does that Cap Moon? Does that count? Anyway.
One interesting thing about sidereals is they have a considerable downside. That people that aren't exalted have a really hard time remembering them. And when I say have a hard time remembering them, I compare it to the silence from Doctor Who. That notion of like take their eyes off them, gone.
Because of the time stuff, probably.
Because of fate stuff, actually. They performed at the right before the usurpation. They performed what is known as the Great Prophecy, and between that and the usurpation, they screwed up a couple of constellations, and now nobody can remember them.
Even the most of heroic mortals, correct me if I'm wrong, someone, chat, like Will, can only remember them a few weeks at the absolute most, and that is it.
Jeez.
You guys
It is a side effect of their resplendent destiny.
Yep. You guys are exalted, so you guys don't have an issue, but it's basically anybody that has a degree of divinity to them, not going to have a problem remembering sidereals. Or excuse me, I should say divinity or profanity, because demons, same thing.
I swear to God, if Beryl turns out to be a abyssal or infernal, I'm going to be so sad.
I was just gonna ask. Does Kyrie know that much?
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
Because
Not about herself, anyway. Based on what
I
you're
was gonna
saying.
say, how much does she know, so I know how to play it?
Here's the thing. This is one of the more interesting things about playing characters that are from the realm in Exalted, is if you are playing one of the Celestial Exalted, your whole life you have been taught, trained, ingrained with the notion that if you exalt as something like any of these other kinds of exalted, they're monsters, they're demons. It doesn't matter how sternly they tell you, no, it's still me, I'm still me. They are lying. They need to be killed. And now you're one of them.
And I'm aware that I'm one of them, right?
Yes, you are. Yep. You may not have an understanding of what a sidereal is, because again, that's kind of
Recent.
yeah,
Recent
that
development.
It's a secret.
yeah, that's very like shadow behind the throne kind of material, but you do know that you are exalted, and you know that you're not dragon blooded.
Real quick, Will, I'm going to bio, if that's all right. I'm posting that in the chat. So thank you
thing.
so much. Thank you guys for understanding. Be right back.
Yep. Do we need to take a break in general before we dive back in, or?
Actually, that would be good. Thanks. 'Cause
Okay.
I'd love
Yeah,
to.
that'd be good.
Cool. Yep. We will be right back, gang. Don't go
I
anywhere.
will get a coffee.
There you go.
Another coffee.
Be right back, everybody.
Because it's whatever. But yeah, so Spanish from Spain is the reason it's spoken with a lisp is because at one point the royal family was so inbred. They had like a chin that jutted outward, which caused the king to have a lisp. And if the king has a lisp, everybody's talking with a lisp. It's the Spanish lisp.
It was the in thing.
The whole
I'm not going to finish that joke.
In fashion. Yep.
All the
Hashtag exalted without context.
all the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah.
Yikes. Anyway.
History. Isn't it great?
Yep.
Creation, how's it going?
Anyway, thanks for sticking around, everybody. We are back after a momentary bio break, and yeah. So,
Drink your water, kids.
yes, I have water somewhere. Hold on. See, water.
You need to hydrate.
Hail hydrate.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, yes. Yes, I've been really bad about hydrating lately. I need to do that more. Anyway. So, you are all in this, what looks like a Blessed Isle tea house, and you have just met Kyrie. Kyrie, you have just met Radiant, Cobalt, and Beryl. And as I said, there's no one else in here, but you can all still hear this like sort of din of conversation. You can't make out individual conversations, no individual words being said, but it's that sort of like of like lots of conversations happening at once.
This feels like a magic thing. Cobalt, is this a magic thing?
Is there a bell around?
Is there a bell around? Yes, actually. There's one there is one hanging over there is against the wall there is a station for like looks like sort of the storage, like tea storage, and a currently extinguished stove for the boiling of water in order to present it for the tea. So,
All right, Beryl, you're going to have to go with me on this.
Where are we going?
And I'll direct Beryl, Radiant, and Uma, right? Am I saying that right?
My soldier, yeah.
To sit around the table that Uma was slumped over at.
Kyrie is
Oh, Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Why do I have an Uma in my house?
Uma is
That was
the
weird.
That's the person traveling with me.
yeah, Uma is the yeah.
I apologize,
That's
Kyrie.
who I thought you were referring to. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I
no,
guess-
we're all good. So around the table Kyrie was at. Cobalt will go over. Sit down at the table, grabbing the bell. Sit down in proper style, and then ring the bell and put it on the table, just to see if there's any reaction to the area. If it doesn't work, then we'll try other stuff. But I figured before tapping into the ley lines, there might be obvious solutions.
All right, hold on just a second.
For context, did this tea house just exist? It just come into existence? Did we walk here?
You woke up there and we walked into it thinking it was going to be a totally different part of the house.
Okay.
Because weird mansion of magic that's trying to eat us.
This
I
is
think.
fine.
You know that scroll saw? That scroll that keeps going around about that guy? It's called Saw.
The what?
I
It's,
don't.
it's a joke that I have where instead of saying movie in game,
Yeah, I was like, are
say
we talking about
scroll.
Saw the movie?
Oh,
Oh.
is this Saw? No, we're not
Oh,
doing
that
Saw.
means you're
We
gonna
might be.
lose some limbs, potentially.
So
You started to talk, and then you like stopped in that position, and I was like, "Did you freeze?"
Nope.
And then it just turned out you paused. You actually
Yep.
had a real pause.
So you ring the bell, and that din of
Is
conversation.
anyone else getting skipping, or is it just?
Oh, you just skipped a little bit
There
there.
might be, yeah.
It's not. Everyone is getting a little bit of skipping. It might be our internet.
Yeah, because I'm fine.
Okay. So you ring the bell, and that din of conversation continues, but you do hear another sound start to come through it. It sounds like the rustling of dried leaves. And as you sit there, and that rustling leaf sound becomes louder, more pronounced, and more distinct. Very soon, a pair of lizard-like hands and a lizard's face kind of like perch itself up at the edge of the table. It resembles reading from the book, resembles a six-legged lizard stretching about 7 feet from tail to snout. It is bluish-green. It's the most notable characteristic of it is the sound it makes, a soft murmuring whisper that sounds like dry leaves crackling underfoot. This sound is audible even when it is immaterial, although it recedes to the very edge of the listener's consciousness. This murmuring is essential to the demon's nature. If it is somehow silenced, it instantly dissolves into dank, fetid wind. Yeah.
So it becomes a fart?
Kind of, yeah.
Ew.
If you let it stop making noise, yes. But it's you hear this rustling as it sort of like perches itself up on its foremost legs, and then the next set of legs sort of like helps it sort of almost stand all the way up, as if to like sort of stand there and like about to ask you something, and it says to those that speak Old Realm, in Old Realm, may I help you?
So first off,
I immediately.
I need to roll lore right now if I recognize if it's a demon or not.
Yes.
Because I need to know if I recognize it as a creature of darkness, because that will then.
Of course.
Radiant, if I get it, I'm taking the limit break.
Yep. Radiant, what are you
I
doing?
was gonna say, I was going to immediately put my hand on Cobalt's shoulder, just because it's like, if this guy, he's gonna die. he's gonna lose it, and then he's gonna die. So I'm trying to calm you down immediately, because I know what's about to happen.
I love you. I love that we're on the same fucking wavelength on where this is gonna fucking go.
Kyrie has taken up a position like behind Beryl, because Beryl's like as close as she's gonna get to a house, and is just like standing there like bodyguard style, watching this lizard thing. So, yeah.
To be fair, he's about the size of one, yeah. Very stocky.
Is there a role that I can make to just like, I don't know, body block Cobalt, or just make him like, nope, chill out?
Kyrie catches this. She's going to look at you, Radiant.
I would.
The questioning look, like the look of, do you want me to help you with this? Like,
So-
do we have a problem?
Radiant. I would like you to roll Charisma Presence.
Okay.
Because if you're doing this without saying anything, this is very much going to be just sort of basically presenting you're basically presenting an aura of don't.
Yes, I'm giving big don't vibes. Charisma and presence.
Yes.
Big don't energy.
Please help me from getting limit, please.
So I'm gonna have to stunt this because I don't have much going on. I mean, I could. Let me see my charms real fucking quick, because I keep swearing. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's an 18. I have it listed as an 18+ stream. And I don't have enough followers on YouTube to be monetized there yet, so swear all you want.
So we can
Word.
use the scroll. All right, good.
Let me check because I have.
No, not that scroll. Sorry, go
Let me see if I have a thing that can help with emotions real quick, because I just have to remember what these charms are.
Yep.
2627.
Yeah, no, we can't use that scroll. We're on Twitch, not OnlyFans.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's a line in the sand. There.
Yeah, that's
To it, in its
Can
defense,
someone tell me what's happening?
okay.
well,
So if I allow me, the exalted historian here, in the before.
Oh, that scroll. Never mind.
Okay.
Nah, word. Okay.
Okay.
I hate everyone here.
I was gonna say it's
What? I didn't even
okay,
do
I'll
anything.
put it
I
in
was
the
just
group
here.
chat.
So
No, you're fine. Everyone else can shut up.
Do we need to share the story for Vixie then?
Yeah, well, we may as well.
Let's-
In
Okay.
for a penny, in for a
no!
pound.
Okay, so in the before times, back during second edition. Now, I keep in mind, second edition Exalted was considerably more popular than third edition is. It was at the time it was considered one of the major competitors for high fantasy TTRPGs against Dungeons and Dragons, because
Right.
it was a little bit more freeform, and also fourth edition kind of went over like a wet fart with a lot of the D&D community. So they were popular enough to be able to publish a few April Fool's jokes over the course of their career. One such April Fool's joke took the form of a teaser release of a book that they called The Scroll of Swallowed Darkness.
Okay.
This was labeled as Exalted, except labeled EXXX Alted.
Oh no.
It was the adult book. Now, when they released the teaser of it, they released it for free, and it was all very heavily redacted. Lots of blacked out like paragraphs and saying like, oh, you have to blank with their blank and blah, blah, blah. However, this proved to be popular enough, and there was enough of a demand that White Wolf released the uncensored version. It exists. It is canonical Exalted smut.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Okay.
they have martial arts forms.
Yes.
Hilarious.
There's a martial arts form. There is actually an excerpt from one thing that White Wolf used to love to do back in the day was come up with books that exist in the world of their games. Most famously, the Book of Nod in Vampire the Masquerade, but Exalted has this too with the 1,000 correct actions of the upright soldier and the broken winged crane.
Okay.
They printed an excerpt in Scroll of Swallowed Darkness from a book known as A Lover Clad in Blue.
Oh jeez. Okay.
It's porn. It is smut. It is.
Now I know.
Written by
OnlyFans,
Charles
but for Exalted.
Sensation.
And
Right.
and knowing
That has given me enough time to formulate an idea in my head.
and,
For
Oh, not that
Cobalt's
kind of
thing-
idea.
and whoop, are you sure?
For Cobalt's thing,
Yes.
can I use, because I'm trying to give off an aura of don't,
Yes.
can I use, what is it called? Deft's official way and use my bureaucracy skill instead.
Ooh. Death's official way, is that what it's called?
Deft
Deft
official way.
Is that a bureaucracy charm?
Yes.
Let me take a look at it and I will let you know.
To accept help if this doesn't work.
For those tuning in,
Radiant.
It is not Will's duty to know all 800 charms that exist within Exalted,
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
but he rolls with us as best as he can. It's too much to ask of any storyteller.
Lawgiver becomes
Don't do that to your storyteller.
The lawgiver
Okay.
becomes preternaturally adept at navigating through bureaucracies. She can naturally sense who to talk to in order to produce results, or expect or is amenable to bribes, which functionaries are actually useful or friendly, and which are officious tyrants abusing their meager sliver of power. The Solar may add her bureaucracy score to the read intentions of any ability, so long as it helps her in producing a desired bureaucratic result, such as obtaining a license, gaining a passport, or securing an audience. No, that's not going to work. That's because
Okay.
it's very specifically about like official courts and like basically
I was just
that like, you know what that is, that charm, that is basically the "can I speak to the manager" charm. That is
Can I go full Karen?
I would like to speak to the manager kind of thing.
okay. In which case I will roll. What did you say?
Charisma presence.
Okay. I will try to stunt it if that is okay.
By all means. It's
So
you never have to ask if it's okay to stunt. It is always okay to stunt.
it is always okay to stunt. Rule of cool.
Yep.
So what she does is she sees this creepy crawly freaky guy
Yeah.
and immediately thinks back to the last 24 hours and is just like, oh dear. And so guy pops up and she just immediately whips around and puts both of her hands on Cobalt's shoulders and gives him the most soul piercing glare into his eyes of just if it were a movie, it would be just camera back forth into their eyes, because it would just be like, I need you to be so level with me right now, quit your shit, because you're gonna die if you try this guy. And she's just like, lock your eyes on me, not on the dude, or else things were gonna go bad.
All right. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a charisma presence and take 2 extra dice on the roll. It as everything just kind of goes Quentin Tarantino vision, that
Yeah. Horizontal completely. Yeah. Ugh, I got 1 success.
1 success. Sadly, I'm fair. Cobalt, what is your resolve?
What is resolve calculated off? I have guile not written down. Sorry.
Resolve is wits
Integrity.
It's wits integrity divided by 2.
That's 2 actually.
Missed it by.
What if I'm sad?
If you spend a point of willpower, that will give you an automatic success and put you at 2.
Willpower
So
spent.
there you
Willpower spent.
go. So Cobalt, you basically you get the message of fucking don't. Now, you have an option here. If you spend a point of willpower of your own, you can ignore that. Or the other thing you can do is you can spend a point of willpower to ignore the intimacy.
If I spend a point of willpower to ignore the intimacy, do I risk also having limit break on that?
I am going to have to roll limit for it.
I mean, either way, I'm still. No matter what
Yeah,
I
I
do
can
in
do
this
that.
scene,
What would you like to do while this is happening, Kyrie?
She has something called prior warning
Okay.
ooh,
as part of her part of her charms,
Yes.
and it allows her to roll to detect an immediate threat.
Okay. What do you have to roll for that?
That's my question, because I didn't
Okay.
put that in my notes. I have to go to the book.
Prior warning, you
Um,
said?
Yes, it's called prior warning.
Did you write down what page it's on?
I did. I should have. Yes, prior warning. 295.
Awesome.
Okay.
Kudos to you as a player for writing down page numbers for charms, though. Most people don't ever.
There's
No?
800 charms. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
All right.
You'd be surprised.
Prior warning. The sidereal can roll to detect an immediate threat in advance of when she would be able to detect it normally. This roll uses whatever dice pool and difficulty would be used to detect the threat. If that's not clear, the sidereal will precipitate awareness against difficulty 1 to 5. Success doesn't reveal the threat, but gives the sidereal a feeling of unease that lets her know there is some form of impending danger. This foreboding adds essence dice on her roll to actually detect the threat. So yeah, go ahead and roll perception awareness. So
Okay.
It's the number of dots that you have in perception and the number of dots you have in awareness. Add them up and roll that many 10-sided dice.
For perception. Oh yeah, perception's under attributes. I'm looking in the wrong thing. I was looking under skills like we're playing D&D. Okay, so that's and how many? These are D6s.
D10s.
10s. Thank you. Oh, I need more D10s.
The battle cry of every new Exalted player.
Yes. I can get.
There are dice rollers on. You can use digital dice too if you absolutely need to.
I prefer physical dice.
D10s I do too, generally speaking. But when we get into combat, you'll be rolling upwards of 15 on a regular basis.
Oh,
so,
that's also fair. Guess I'll have to use a dice roller for this and not my sparkly dice.
I mean, there's a reason I have this cigar box full of D10s. So
I didn't think to plan that far ahead, so I will do so next time.
No worries.
Is there a dice roller available?
Hold on.
Somewhere that you would recommend?
I know I've looked one up before, and I know I usually share it in various chats. Let me
Sova usually always posted it right before we began.
Yeah.
Aww.
That means it's in the post history.
It should be.
Oh, yep. This is the one that
Theoretically.
so I'm gonna put it in the Discord chat.
Mhm.
Where is? There we go. All right. It's just put in the Killing in the Name chat in Discord.
There it is. Here. Then how many D10s am I rolling?
So it's going to be your dots in perception plus your dots in awareness.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. And I just type the number because apparently it doesn't want to let me move the arrows. All right, so that's 4 perception, and then awareness is another 3, so that's 7 total.
Yep.
Not a bad pool at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 successes
Holy shit.
Nice.
is what it says.
That, but you nailed it.
Yeah.
That is
Nailed it.
so okay. So in the way that when it comes to dice rolls in Exalted,
Mhm.
there are 4 potential outcomes. Anything from 1 to 4 successes is considered a success. Sometimes it might not be a good enough success because depending on how difficult the task is, everything like that.
Mhm.
Anything 5 successes or over is considered a critical success. Basically, it's the equivalent of rolling a natural 20 in D&D. Yeah, you.
So this is a natural 20 then.
Yeah, you killed
Yep.
it.
Your spidey sense went all the way.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
The other 2 potential outcomes are a failure, which is when you roll 0 successes, and of course, and everyone's favorite, the botch, which is when you roll 0 successes and at least 1 1 on one of the dice. That is a botch.
Fear of the botch.
That is a failure. Oh no, it didn't work. Botch. It didn't work, and something went horribly wrong.
It's fine. I read about
That was
botches.
last
I was like,
game.
I
That
don't
was the
want
last
that.
game for us.
Oh,
That's
no.
I have like whenever I play in Meat Space, there's always one person in the group who actually keeps a physical notebook log of every time someone botches, so that they can like recall like, hey guys, remember when you triple botched that? It's
Oh, jeez.
and just it basically sent us down an entire new rabbit hole of plot. But 5 successes is a fantastic roll. Yeah, no, there is You definitely detect a degree of danger, but it's not like a... It's more like a low-level radiation level kind of danger. It's not like... This is not a gun to your head. This is a... This is a looming shadow.
Okay. And is like... This is just a very general sense. There's no... It's not specific to any one thing that's going on. So I'm trying to see if, like... Because I can see everyone in the room. I want to know if, like, I can tell that, like... Maybe this visceral reaction is the reason I'm feeling the way I'm feeling from... Cobalt, or maybe it's this thing that I'm like this lizard thing that's talking to Beryl, the person that I'm standing behind. More from like a logistical sense. Like, I'm having this feeling. What is producing this feeling? 2 + 2 is 4. Less like directly caused by the spell, if that makes sense.
Right. It's so the way the charm works is it doesn't give you a lot in the way of specifics. It's just it's more of a positive or it's like basically does it exist or not kind of thing. It's very binary kind of sense. Like, yes, the threat exists and it is a looming presence rather than a immediate sword at your back.
So I think what she is going to do in the situation is very calmly walk over to Kobold and Radiant and lean in to... Are you guys sitting down or are we like standing up still? I guess I should...
I thought we were sitting down at the table.
Kyrie's not.
Right.
Kyrie is not sitting. That's why I wanted to ask, so that I have this visual in my head.
I know Cobalt went over to sit down at the table that you were slumped over when you woke up.
Okay. So, and I'm assuming Beryl sat as well. Did Beryl sit down? Or are you standing
I
up?
think I'd have followed Cobalt's lead.
Okay, cool. So yeah, did Radiant sit down or is Radiant standing up?
She's sitting now. She wasn't before, but as soon as she realizes she had to keep Cobalt calm, she started to sit. I have to replace my headphones. Give me one moment.
Yep, no worries. Take your time.
You can wait. I know what I'd like to do, but I'm gonna wait till Cerci gets back to finish because they're in the scene. But yeah.
Yes, of course. For those playing at home, the creature that is standing at the table right now, because it's a fun little demon, it is it's known as an amphilisae. Long names. Hold on. Amphilisae. Amphilisae. One of the many demon races spawned by Gumella, the Amphilisae resemble 6-legged lizards stretching about 7 feet from tail to snout. Most Amphilisae are bluish green, but other colorations are not uncommon. Their most notable characteristic, I mentioned the whole rustling leaves thing, turns into a fart if you make it, if it is somehow silenced. But it is there, basically standing there sort of like posing questions towards you.
Now that Cerci's back.
Yeah.
Kyrie's going to go over to Kobold and Cerci, or Kobold and Radiant, and lean over to speak to Kobold. Very calmly, very almost matter-of-factly, and states very softly, "Now is not the time for bloodshed. Too soon, we'll die. Too late, we still die. Choose your moment carefully."
Cobalt just gives a curt nod to them in understanding, with 2 of the 4 members of their circle, or newest addition to the circle, picking up on what's going down.
Cerci, are you still there? You went. Oh, there you go. You went square dance
Yeah,
for a second
you're back. Square dancing, huh? Because I get it.
there. Yeah, it's.
There's something wrong. My stuff.
Ooh.
You guys keep skipping,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were
You're-
freezing
and my
up.
You can try moving your laptop closer to the router. Might help. Because am I getting any skipping?
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, just try moving it closer to the router, hon.
I'm right next to the router.
Huh.
Hmm. Do you have background programs running?
Like getting into.
There we go.
Ah.
You okay?
Please
What's-
stand by. The
Yeah.
Exalt you are trying to reach is currently on.
Once again, we have no bars here.
Yeah. The alchemical is.
Damn you,
buffering.
Yozi!
Okay, you're moving now. Can you hear us? Cerci, can you hear us?
I may have.
Hello.
You seem
sort
good.
of. Yeah, but it keeps cutting out.
That's weird.
Mm.
There seems to be a delay of some kind.
Curses.
All right. We may need to call a little bit early just due to the technical difficulties. Yeah.
You could always try. I
Sorry.
was saying you could always try leaving the chat and coming back in again. Sometimes, like,
Not restarting might help.
okay.
Move to the living room close to the router. Oh, okay. I mean, I would. It might be good to call it as soon as we like wrap up the quick discussion with the lizard.
Yeah.
The leaf surd.
Absurd. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that just for so we can get the technical stuff squared away.
Yeah.
So yes. So Kyrie, what are you saying to Cobalt?
That's what she said. Hold on one moment. She leaned into Kobold and very slowly and carefully, very purposefully, and says, choose your moment carefully. Now is not the time. Strike too early, and we all die. Strike too late, and we all die. Your moment is somewhere in between, and it is not now.
And again, they just give a very curt nod. I'm spending a point of willpower to ignore my intimacy.
Okay. And you can gain 2 points of limit.
What?
What does that make them at now?
3. I'm at 3 out of 10. So
Okay, we're okay. We're okay. It's only when you hit 10 that. What's your vice?
you mean my limit trigger?
Your curse.
Yeah.
Your curse.
What do you do?
Oh, my curse. Where is that? I have that here somewhere. I don't know where it is on my sheet. Damn it. I believe it is the by any means necessary.
Oh dear.
I hate to tell you, Vix. Oh, never mind. We're fixed. I was gonna say the overlay just switched and you swapped into the storyteller spot. So
that would be right.
No, hey, that's very righteous, or sorry, Quicksilver Hand of Dream style. They just take over for the scene. All right, good job.
I mean, I just took control of fate. It's fine. No big deal.
What? I'm so
You just
sorry, y'all.
promoted
What-
yourself.
What did I miss? Because there's like about 10 minutes that it was just fuzz.
Oh, you sound great now, though. Jeez,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
good.
So, Kyrie went over to speak to Cobalt and dissuade him from
War
making
crimes.
Lizard, from war crimes, making lizard sushi, however you want to put it. And it worked. But now Cobalt has taken a limit, 3 out of 10.
I was not escaping this. Again, chat. As is my I need to get that on T-shirts now. I asked
You
for
did
this.
You asked for this.
You
you
openly
did,
asked
in
for this.
fact, ask for it.
Yeah, I chose hard mode unintentionally. It's got its good points and its flaws.
Oh
That's
lordy.
yeah. Like Artifice came in here saying like, all right, I want to play someone who hates demons, and me with this plot in mind, I'm like, okay,
Yikes.
cool,
Yikes,
bet.
yikes,
Fucking
yikes.
go.
So yes. So yeah. No. So you have been calmed down, and the lizard is perched there, kind of waiting for your command.
All right, so, well, I haven't bound it yet, and I don't plan to because I still have Spider Bro. But I got 2 successes on trying to recognize if this is a demon or not.
Oh, it's a demon. Yes.
Okay, all right. That just had to, wanna.
On 2 successes, you may even know what kind of demon it is.
Bum, bum, bum.
Obscurity 1? Yeah, no, you know what this thing is. This is an Amphilesia. Amphilesiae are, on 2 successes, you know what it's called. You don't really know what its shtick is.
Rock on.
You do know not to silence it, though.
I will in very
Don't
calm.
hotbox the tea house, please.
In very calm, non-Quintino fashion, because I'm not Michael Fassbender during this. I'll be like
3.
4 glasses and a nice steaming pot, please.
Of course.
Is he single? Sorry, what?
And he sort of like hops his middle 2 legs off the table and scuttles over to the corner where that station is. Begins boiling a pot for you and starts dishing out teas to into glasses. After a few minutes, just sort of watching him do this, he comes back with a tray and the boiling water, places it down at the table, and is there anything else I can get for you?
I think that will be all for now.
I whisper over to Cobalt, do you think he would have a way out of here? Perhaps?
I suppose we could ask. I'm not the best at social nuances. That's more Beryl's thing. But do we know which way we wish to go?
Back to reality? Like, back to creation? I mean, like, fully out.
You wish to leave the lady's you wish to leave the lady's domain?
This is still all an old
idea,
realm, right?
concept we have. We're still workshopping it.
Radiant, what were you? How were you communicating to Cobalt that question?
In river tongue.
He says that in River Speak.
Fuck.
Oh, fantastic. You know the
Okay.
language of traders, thank goodness. I didn't want to assume. Oh,
I would be.
This is easier then.
I would be a terrible host indeed if I did not. Were I not able to communicate with guests.
Let me see. How complicated do I want to make this? Okay. I suppose at that point I will activate perfect symmetry and begin negotiations. So you see Barrel's face just line up a little too perfectly in almost a airbrushed beauty, grizzling up his and just
Sorry, you say he looks airbrushed, and my brain did not go to photoshopped. My brain went to a picture of a fallen celebrity or something like that on a t-shirt. Different kind of airbrushing. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. And I think we'll I'm not gonna go full Predator Prey Mirror yet.
Okay.
I'll pocket that for later, because this is already 5 motes. And just begin with, well, we'd like to go home. We've got business and possibly a war outside of the inside of the lady. So if there is a door, a ladder, an exit that doesn't happen to pay a steep price of, say, parts of our souls, I'd very much appreciate any support you could provide towards leading us that direction. And you might, in fact, be, generously rewarded for such.
Oh, the lady rewards me generously already.
Does
I
that
think
mean that tea is
that's-
complimentary?
Of course.
Priorities.
As much tea
Priorities,
as you
we
would
s-
like.
I'd rather not drink tea and accidentally sell my soul. My bad.
I think Beryl will just say, surely there's some help you can be. Obviously, we don't belong here.
What makes you say that?
We're of creation. This is not creation.
You are the lady's honored guests.
I don't remember accepting an invitation, unfortunately. There must be some mistake.
If I were to tell you how to leave, I would be punished.
That's fair to a point, and I think at this point you'll see a glimmer of something feral from the deeps of the or depths of the oceans kind of glimmer across the shape of his face, and this is where Predator and Prey Mirror will trigger. And at that point, Beryl will just say, "But future punishment pales in comparison to immediate ending and cessation. So, if you wouldn't mind, I'll let you play this one of two ways. You can either tell us a direction towards the exit, or you can tell us all directions that don't lead towards the exit, and then technically, you're not telling us the way out, you're just telling us what ways won't help.
Your words carry venom.
You have no idea how apt that is. There will be a little ripple across the skin. I have a toxic gland.
Don't worry about it.
I'm a very mean cuttlefish man.
The next t-shirt.
Yep.
Mhm.
And you can see as you say that, there's something about the anatomy of this thing that you didn't notice before, and that's around its neck. It has and you can see as it very slowly starts to unfurl this flared fringe, like a Dilophosaurus kind of, the Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus. I know they didn't actually have the flare thing, but it's that kind of thing. Start to slowly come up, and that dry leaf rustling sound gets louder and more intense, to the point where it stops sounding like rustling leaves and more like a wildfire.
I think Beryl will take all the tea in one sip, slam the glass down, and say, "Now you're playing my favorite game." And Hideous Beastman transformation may kick off.
Okay.
I just drank poison, didn't I?
I was gonna say you drank the tea. Okay.
Oh no, it wasn't verbal tea, it was herbal tea and not the fun kind.
Thinking of the immortal words of Socrates.
So
I drank what?
First,
Ow,
first thing
ow,
we're gonna need you to do is roll stamina resistance.
I'm good at that. To a point. In stunting that, I think, I mean, I am venomous. So, I do want to, maybe try and, as I am activating Hideous Beastman transformation, maybe put a little extra oomph into my metabolism to try and process quickly.
That's not how venom and poison work.
No,
Sorry.
I was gonna say that those are two different things. Sorry.
Sorry to be the
They
resident
both shut
scientist.
down. They both shut down organs, though, and I'm trying to get the blood to circulate.
And you know what? This is Exalted.
This is a fantasy game, guys.
Oh,
You're
so
gonna kill me.
science doesn't count. Fine, I guess.
You're gonna kill me, but okay.
So,
You
well,
got-
I have a thing I can do about this, but
You
not-
guys are literally inside a demon. You think I worry about the difference between venom and poison at this point?
Gosh.
Does Hideous Beastman's transformation paired with Deadly Beastman give me any
I believe
boost?
I believe it boosts your stamina, so it will.
I don't. I think it allows me to apply stamina differently, but might not boost. Let's see, that's
thought it
one willpower plus. What else am I kicking off? Where's Hideous Beastman?
Kicking off the reality of poison.
Right. Let me see.
Oh, do I
Maybe
know
you're
what
right.
books I start with.
13 personal and 33 peripheral.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Asking for a friend that may not have something they can do about this. Again. 13 personal, you said?
Should be.
Yeah, 13 personal and 33 peripheral.
Oh, okay. Sure was really worried about how much things cost.
And you get 5 essence back every round of combat.
That's going to be super useful.
Oh yeah. 5 back every round of just keep turning into a beast, man. I'll be here going through my charms.
Actually, as a sidereal, you get slightly less. You actually get 11 personal and
okay.
31 peripheral.
I'm sorry, I forgot they weren't in the cool kids club, like an actual Exalted. I apologize.
I'm not using hideous beast man. I'm using hybrid body. My bad.
Hybrid body. Okay.
That's why I got so confused.
Don't forget,
but it's hybrid body pairs with deadly beast man.
Don't forget, she can kick you in the backstory. Okay.
That's true.
She absolutely can.
That's a mighty fine backstory you have there. It'd be a shame if someone fucked it up. Anyway.
5 more motes and a willpower, and yeah, you do see like the skin shimmers and the chromatophores collapse upon themselves, and instead of being a middle-aged man in a burly suit, the beard shifts into face tentacles, and I go full cuttlefish eye, and then the skin ripples and reshapes itself into cuttlefish man form with all the accoutrement.
Kyrie is taken aback.
But you said
Not
resistance
expecting
and stamina, huh?
Cuttlefish man.
Does any of that count for a stunt or nah?
Yes, I will count that for a stunt.
Oh, thank God.
So yeah, go ahead and take 2 extra dice on the roll.
I appreciate that. Why did I drink the tea?
You had to know what was going on. That's why we all drink the tea.
So I'm glad one of my dice says 9 because 3 of them say 1.
Oh, that was close. Okay.
Yikes.
Okie dokie.
Should I burn a willpower to make that 2 successes, or will 1 keep me breathing?
I'd spend it, man.
Oh yeah, so it's I can apply my strength differently, and I have higher soak in beast form. It has nothing to do with stamina, unfortunately. All right, I'll make that 2 successes by burning a willpower.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I fear the consequences of. I should have thrown it in his face. That'd have been better.
You think things through? Anyway.
And Exalted, we do it live.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
I mean, literally, but also yes.
Exalted is a very shoot first, ask questions later kind of vibe.
Well,
I'm a
works for
Dawn Pass,
Han
that's my
Solo.
job.
Okay, where do they not have? Oh wait. There we go. Where is virulence? What is the virulence on this thing?
Oh God.
Yeah, poisons when you're
They're
in a
not
demon
fun.
are yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good time, no. I think they want to keep you alive longer to toy with you more. No. Just want to kill you.
Oh wait, that's a disease. Hold on, I don't want a disease. I want poison.
I was gonna say you're gonna give Beryl a demonic STD.
Yeah, that's my bad. Give me just a second.
Don't do that.
It's not that kind of tea house, man.
Make me earn it. I am playing the socialite now. No, I kid. He just cares about his book.
Oh, the actual time the poison lasts. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so you got 2 successes on it?
Yeah. Well, I bought one, but I rolled one and paid for one with willpower.
Still counts.
Cool.
So, fortunate. The good news is it's a fairly slow-acting poison.
What's the bad news?
The bad news is that
It's poison.
It's going. Its interval is every hour. It's going to inflict some damage on you. Some damage on you. Each success you get on this roll reduces the duration. So you've managed to reduce the duration by 2 hours. Yeah, so just because Exalted is a completely transparent back and forth. Statistically speaking, you drank hemlock.
Neat.
Oh, no.
The effects of which are, you are going to have a -4 penalty on stuff. And it's 2 lethal per hour.
Oh.
That sucks.
But it's not.
Can anyone punch the poison out of me?
And it's
Well, I might have something I can do about it, but I'm trying to look it up, and I can't find it in the book. And it's frustrating me.
We'll worry about it later.
Yep. It's
It's 4. Oh, that's rough.
yeah. Yeah. So you do have a bit of poison, and you're having a poison moment. And-
Poison moment?
And as you do this, the frill has fully extended itself. Kyra, you said you had something you wanted to do about this?
Oh, never mind. Nope, I do not. The thing I thought I had is not the thing that I thought, because I had something called. I thought I had a Hearthstone that could help with this, but it does not do the thing I thought it did. I got it confused, I think.
Okay.
That's all. So I don't actually think I have anything I can do about it.
Okay.
Probably.
But with that said, and its frill is now fully extended, and with that, it kind of looks at you, and its eyes go wide, and you can see this its pupils are this odd it's like a 4-point star slit. It's like you know how snakes have the vertical slit. It's like both of them on top. It's got a vertical and a horizontal slit, sort of acting independently of each other, and it lets out this screech.
Oh no.
And with that screech, you can hear a skittering start to approach.
Should have let it become a fart.
And that skittering you can hear behind if you turn around and look, you see a pair of those demon spiders from before.
Wow.
Walk in. And it's currently 10:30, so it's a little late in the session right now to get started into combat. But
May I have a quippy one-liner here, though?
you may.
She looks down at Cuttlefish Man, who is currently convulsing from poison, I assume, and catches Kobold's eye, and she says 2 words. Or no, 3 words. Now's the time.
And to be fair, Beryl is not convulsing. He just
Okay.
He just
I was like, what does this look like?
he just feels a little
Green
pukey.
in the gills. Yeah.
Ayo. Anyway, and next session we will, in the spirit of diving into the deep end, we will get into combat.
Huzzah!
At least I know how many votes I have.
Yeah. So, thanks for playing, everybody. Let's do some experience points real quick. Everybody take 5 regular. So, Vixie, experience points in Exalted take 2 different forms. You have regular experience and Exalted experience. Everybody gets 5 regular experience points for showing up.
Okay.
Exalted experience is earned through what is known as a roll bonus and an expression bonus. An expression bonus is when if you have role played a particular intimacy, usually typically of major or defining intensity, to a particular effect where it sort of revealed something about your character, or made the story more interesting, or maybe impeded you in a certain way, then you will gain some experience points for that. The roll bonus is based on your cast. And it is basically if you acted in a way that is sort of typically aligned with with what your cast does well. And if you did that, you're going to gain some more experience points.
Okay.
Everything in this game is point buy. So there are you will spend the experience points at a certain rate depending on what you want to gain dots in, what you want to improve. You will and it also takes a certain degree of training time. So there will be. I have figured out a way to work downtime into this game. We will figure it out shortly after the combat next session. Without spoiling anything, with what I have up my sleeve, moo-hoo, haha.
Okay.
So we'll dive into those the bonuses. So, did anyone play up any major or defining intimacies this session? Cobalt, you certainly did. You were greatly impeded by your hatred of creatures of darkness. Even gaining some points of limit for it.
Yep.
So you can go ahead and gain 2 solar experience for that.
Thank you.
Radiant. We kind of retroactively did some of the stuff about your crew.
Yeah, I gained limit from that, and also because Cobalt took the lead in my stead.
Yes. So, yep. So you're gonna go ahead and gain 2 solar experience for that. Beryl, did you play up any intimacies? Any big ones?
Not necessarily. I sort of disparaged House Regara, which is a negative minor intimacy, by saying, "Oh no, I'm not with them."
It's
Hashtag not my house.
That's a minor one. It has to be major or defining in order to qualify for it. And
my only majors are Catholic and my solar mate.
Okay. And Vixie, did you the justice one? I think the
justice is unbiased and patient is the one I was going to argue for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she told Kobold to hold for the right time.
Yep. Also, especially it being unbiased, you being basically being a dynast and not having a negative reaction to the anathema in your audience. They have done nothing against you.
Yep.
That absolutely plays into your intimacies. So yeah.
Yes.
So you get 2 sidereal experience is what it's called because you're not a solar. Now let's do the expression bonuses. Oh, excuse me, the roll bonuses. Cobalt. Did you brain at things? Did you do the Twilight nerd stuff?
Without my knowledge of crafts that I have, we wouldn't have known that we now do in fact have an army that is on our side, potentially outside of this manse, launching a war party.
Yeah, that's well done. Your knowledge of your knowledge of northern Haslanti craftsmanship Radiance. No butts to kick this time.
No butts to kick.
But don't worry. Next session there will be plenty of butt kicking, and you will have more than ample opportunity to gain some of that.
Although there was no butts to kick, but I did use my kind of general, my nature as a general, to kind of keep Cobalt.
Yeah, you know what? You definitely had the look of eagles, as they call it sometimes. Just that sort of like fucking don't kind of.
Yes, because solar Dawncast isn't just brute force.
Right. It's strategy, military, figuring out how to best opponents, which is not always on the field of combat.
Sometimes it's stay your hand. So I told him to stay his hand.
So yeah,
can I take that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I will allow for that. So 2 solar experience there. Beryl.
I didn't use someone's culture against them. I just tried to socialize a bit. So I don't. Oh, and I didn't trap somebody into the hidings of the court.
You kind of did, actually. I would argue that you did, because of the way that Kyrie treated you when she thought you were that one house.
And also acknowledging Excelsi's downfall bit. Your call, Will. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll allow it. So go ahead and gain 2 lunar experience for that.
Okay.
And now...
Didn't even think of that.
And now I have to look up what
Thank you.
It is for sidereals. All right, let's
Did you murder a concept?
Ending. So chosen of endings. The way that you gain sidereal experience is advancing her or her circle's goals by killing powerful enemies, bringing long-standing problems to decisive conclusion, saving others from mortal peril or organizations from ruin, or defeating powerful undead or necromancers or undoing their baleful magics. Those are how you're going to sort of it's what chosen of endings tend to do.
Yeah.
They end
I would say that.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you helped, you kept someone out of mortal peril.
Oh, that's true.
You kept Cobalt from compulsively doing something which would have probably put him at death.
Oh yeah, if Cobalt had his way, his head would be in the Amphale's mouth right now.
Fair. Instead of just a slightly poisoned member of the party.
Right. So yeah, no, I will give you the 2 sidereal experience for that. So those are the 2 official ways of gaining Exalted experience at this table. I add, as a homebrew thing, I add a 3rd. And this is a bit that I learned from the woman that taught me how to play Exalted, and that is a method called learning curve. Basically, it is an idea. Basically, you put forward ideas as to what you think is happening behind the scenes, where do you think the plot is going, theories about the world at large, and if you say something I like, if you are, it does. Here's the thing about it is that I don't tell you why you're getting the point. So if you guess a spoiler, I might give you a point. I might give you a point because you said something funny that is completely out of left field, but to throw off the trail of someone that's saying like, oh, that's going to be this is where it's going, I might give you a point. So it is present your theories, and I may, if I like them in some capacity, I will give you one extra Exalted experience. So, does anyone have any learning curves?
I think I do.
Okay.
All right. You gotta hear me out on this, though.
Oh, it's
Hear them out.
it's a hear me out. Okay, all right.
Oh,
all
boy.
right.
Okay.
Hear them out. Hear them out.
Hold on.
We've been building. I'll hydrate. Hang on.
Yeah.
Hydrate, kids. It's important.
Yes.
So we've learned up until this point. We think that we're in the body of she who kills in her name.
She who lives in her name.
Lives in her name, sorry. And this is killing in the name. We're launching a war effort to go to her. However, More than once, we've been referred to as guests in this instance, in this manse. I think that the only reason that we are actually in her is because she wants us here. That she is actively trying to allow us to do something that will imbalance the universe itself and potentially even break the Yozi's curse where they are the Neverborn. By maybe ending them, we disrupt the divine jurisdiction of the Celestials themselves by undoing what they put forth. And maybe that's where this is headed, but it's one of those things where it's, are we the arbiters that are actually the end of creation when in fact we believe it's our saviors? And are we going to get to that final moment and need to decide, does this thing of pure evil need to actually die, or do we need to have it continue to exist for the balance of creation itself?
A hard question.
I can't help but giggle a little bit because I love how you put it. It was brilliantly worded, but in my head, it all just kind of boils down to, are we the baddies?
There's literally suns upon us, and this is a place of darkness.
And
The other guys don't have mountains of
Suns.
skulls.
but why
Are we the bad
skulls
guys?
though?
Anyway,
It's a bad
okay.
Fair enough.
Anyone else?
My theory is a lot more like small scale, like Giuseppe's big pictures, and I'm like little things.
Sure.
So I think unattended rooms are potentially safe rooms where we can gather information, lick our wounds, and recover. Any room that is attended, though, we should infer that everything's a trap. I feel like this is kind of that cube moment where it's like, ah, yes, the empty spaces are where we can breathe. The occupied spaces are where we die.
Okay. Cerci? Vixie? Anything?
I think there's so many things floating around in my head at once that none of them are really making sense at this moment.
Fair enough.
So don't really got anything.
Okay.
Nothing cohesive right now,
Sure.
unless like something out. Like, yeah, nothing cohesive is really that I haven't said before.
Okay. That's fair.
Is coming to mind.
Not a problem. Vixie, I know it's your first session, but by all means.
I was gonna say I just got here. And it's funny because all the arbiter stuff, I was like, oh, is that what I'm supposed to do? Anyway, so
like, Vixie, any learning curve? I was over on the bench.
She
I
over
just
on the
woke up on a table. I don't know what happened. Some lady patted my shoulder and I passed out. I don't know what she had on her hand. But anyway, so nothing stands out to me yet, mostly because I just got here.
Absolutely.
I'm just piecing things together, and we haven't really had a conversation about what's going on or anything like that. Like my character hasn't really been filled in, so I don't actually know that there's a war effort going on.
Sure.
I do know that, the person wearing house clothing, or at least the appearance of house clothing, has been poisoned. The other person wants to kill anything demonic, and that's it.
Okay.
That's what I know so far.
Fair enough. Well, I will say learning curve is you as a player. It doesn't have to be like, oh, what my character knows. It's like it can be anything. So this is your opportunity to sort of metagame, basically.
Oh. No. I just got here.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
I don't really have
that's fair,
many theories
too, yeah.
about anything yet.
No, and that's entirely fair. That's But okay, cool.
Other than I should have called that poison when it happened. That's it.
All right, so yeah, I will. Dylan and Artifice take a point.
Okay.
I'm
I
scared.
will not say no to that.
All right, so with that, I thanks everybody for playing. Thank you everybody that's still hanging out in chat for hanging out in chat and joining us. If you're watching this over on YouTube, thank you for making it this far into the episode. I am going to go find someone for us to raid, and in the meantime, I'm going to have my fantastic players let you know where you can find them on other parts of the interwebs. Because I threw Vixie under the bus at the start of the show, so I will start on the other side with Artifice.
Yay!
All right. Hey there, Giuseppe, Modern Artifice here. I'm Modern Artifice everywhere on the internet that you can find me: Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, etc. And a few days left, but I've got a limited edition set of dice for the Take This initiative that's raising money for mental health awareness, which is for the month of May. So get them while you can. 50% of all proceeds go to charity, thankfully, from the Take This organization. Yeah, and I guess pass it down to Radiant.
Yep.
Is that me? Am I next? I'm Cerci. I am Aster Hollow everywhere on the internet. I do crafting with. I also watch my cat try to eat a cannoli. Anyway, sorry. I do crafting with recycled art, and I do little tchotchkes and stuff. Just my hands are always covered in paint. I am Aster Hollow everywhere on the socials, and I'm here on Thursdays.
Yay!
Hello, I'm Dylan Baird, or Bardic Geek. I can be found at Bardic Geek, mostly on TikTok and Blue Sky. And I write TTRPGs as a hobbyist. Currently, I'm 160 pages into one that is inspired by modern isekai anime, and it's that time I got reincarnated the TTRPG. So it went from, oh yeah, I'll start this at, early April, to now it's half a book. Playtests start next month, because I'm insane. But yeah, so that is what I do. I stream mostly JRPGs and probably tabletop again this summer. So that's me.
That's me again, right?
That's
'Cause
to
that's
you,
me.
yeah.
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 Hey everybody, my name is Vixie Bell. I've been your friendly neighborhood player here at Radio Free Will's channel. Thank you for having me at the table. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. You can also find me over at the Pocket Dragon Pub, which is a place where we play games. I run and play and produce there. And currently we are gearing up for our Pride Month. We are partnering with two other channels, House of Dreams and Pantless Tables, to raise funds for charitable LGBTQ organizations. The Pocket Dragon Pub and House of Dreams will be raising funds for Rainbow Railroad, which helps trans folks get out of unsafe places and into safe places where they can live as their real selves. So please be sure to check those out. We will be having those games every Sunday in June, and you will also see me at GameCon Canada in June, where I will be working with Logomancy Media and running a game of It's Only Magic from Monty Cook Games, Cypher System Adventure, set in Miami, of all places. And last but not least, you will also see me at Gen Con, where I'm running a whole bunch of stuff, and you can look it all up by looking for the Pocket Dragon Pub. You can keep up with me everywhere at Pocket Dragon Pub or at the Pocket Dragon Pub. That article keeps screwing me over. Anyway, so that's where you can find me, and that's me. Thanks.
And I'm Radio Free Will. You can find me on TikTok at Radio Free Will. Also, if you're watching this on Twitch, I'm over on YouTube at Radio_Free Will. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm on Twitch at Radio_Free Will. You also, if you like the way I run games, you can come play one of the games that I'm running over at startplaying.games/GM/Radio Free Will. I need to get some more stuff up. I need to get my hands on Daggerheart, because I would love to give that a shot and maybe run that for some folks. But in the meantime, we are going to go raid our friends over at Imagination Arcade. They were playing Eat the Reich. It looks like they're on hold right now. I'm not sure if they're actually just sort of ending for the night, but they're an awesome channel. You should be following them if you're not already. So we're going to send it over to them. Say hi in chat. Tell them we sent you. Hopefully they will come back and play more games later on tonight because Eat the Reich is a great game. But until next session, everybody, good luck, have fun, and don't let the wizards grind you down. Night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.